Heyo everyone, me should be barking here. Got a bit of an interesting video this week to say the least. I'm doing an extra upload this week because I feel like it and I need to distract myself from the world, so yeah, here we are. Also, it's just a really funny topic and just like, what? Today we're talking about a Michigan school board meeting where this parent made some interesting claims with not very much evidence to say the least. So I'm gonna divvy this up into two parts. This part's unscripted. I haven't seen this video yet, so I'm gonna be watching it for the first time, pausing, reacting, doing all that fun jazz, kind of like what I did with the NFT animation video. And then the second half, I'm gonna go a little bit more into detail about my thoughts and everything because this whole... Ooh. Also, if you haven't already, check out Lab Rat's video. She already did a video about this topic, which is actually what kind of cued me onto it. Like, I knew about it, but I didn't really care. And then Lab covered it, and I was like, oh, this sucks. Not Lab's video, the whole topic sucks. Lab, please don't hate me, I love you. Anyway, yeah, enough dilly-dallying. Let's go ahead and dive on in, shall we?
The agenda that is being pushed through our schools is, just my opinion, but somewhat nefarious when it comes to some of the activities. So let's talk about furries.
Man, I don't know. Something about just right off the bat, you already know this is gonna be a hell of a video. I don't know if it's the fact that she doesn't have a mask on at a school board meeting, which is probably what the board meeting was about anyway, and somehow it got sidetracked to furries.
Still wrapping my brain around this a little bit, but yesterday I heard something.
Who did you hear it from? Did you hear it from God?
And I was stunned. And today I am equally stunned and a little bit upset.
Oh no, she's upset. What do you think that she could be upset about? You've probably already seen the thumbnail. What in the world could be going on that this woman is upset? Definitely not anything that she created in her own mind. No.
I want to talk about the fact that, and I know this is going on nationwide, so it is not just for this board, but our community needs to understand that the agenda that is being pushed through our schools.
Oh no, the agenda being pushed in the schools. God, you hear this argument all the time, and it's like, dog, they're just trying to teach the children. This just sounds a lot like anti-mask rhetoric so far. Like, it's got a bunch of the same talking points as anti-mask points, where it's just like, oh, fear-mongering, this is going on everywhere. Hide your kids, you never know who's gonna be a furry and who's, you know, fuck, dude. Misinformation is so rampant lately. It's great. I love it. I hate it here.
It was addressed by a child a couple months ago that they are put in an environment where there are kids that identify as a furry.
Does this count as furries in the news? Are Tabin and Barely gonna talk about this? God, I kind of hope so.
That identify as a furry, a cat or a dog, whatever.
No, this is a very common misconception with people who are not furries. We do not believe that we are cats and dogs. I do not believe that I am a dog. I just simply created a dog character to better express myself through a different medium. People who believe that they are that animal, that is known as therians, and that is a completely different thing. It's kind of a Venn diagram where, you know, some furries are therians and some therians are furries, but not all are both, you know, so, but there is some crossover, but that doesn't mean that all furries believe that they are the animal that their sona is, you know? This is such a common misconception, and I wish there was a broad brush, like a way to clear it up for everybody, but there really isn't.
And so yesterday I heard that at least one of our schools in our town has in one of the unisex bathrooms.
In the unisex bathroom. Remember that? I'm gonna bring that up later.
A litter box for the kids that identify as cats. And I am really disturbed by that.
Boy, I would be too. What are your sources? Where did you hear this from? Is it credible? Do they know for a fact that this is going on? Did they make it up to cause drama? Why is it in a unisex bathroom? We'll bring that up later. It's amazing how the generation that told me as a kid you can't believe anything on the internet turns around and believes anything on the internet. They were right. You can't believe everything on the internet. Hell, you should probably take everything with skepticism that you see on the internet. But they go online and they just eat everything up as soon as it fits their narrative. It doesn't matter if there's any like contrasting things. It doesn't matter how ridiculous the claim is. This is a batshit crazy claim. I'd be against this if this was going on. You don't need that, you know? And neither do we're not asking for this. We're just asking not to be bullied. But yeah, it's just such a batshit crazy claim and she just eats it up. She just believes it right away. Where did she hear it from? Who told her this? Because there's no way that it was a credible source, and if it was, they were f***ing with her, because this is just ridiculous, you know? Oh my What? People are willing to believe anything.
And I will do some more investigation on that. I know it's going on nationwide. I know it is.
You know it's going on nationwide, but you also need to look into it more because you don't know if it's going on nationwide, but you do know it's going on nationwide.
It's part of the agenda that's being pushed. I don't even want to understand it.
Ah yes, the real trans agenda, guys. Putting litter boxes in the gender-neutral restroom.
Because I am really upset as a parent that my child is put in an environment like that.
They're not. They're literally not. This is not happening. This is not going on. There's no way you actually believe that this is happening. You're just choosing to believe it because it fits your narrative, and it allows you to hate people that aren't like you.
And, you know, I'm all for creativity and imagination, but when someone lives in a fantasy world and expects other people to go along with it, I have a problem with that.
Where have I heard that argument before? Oh yeah. People use it against trans people a lot. It's almost like there's another narrative behind this.
This whole furry thing has just got me, I'm staying calm, but I'm not happy about it, and it's happened on your watch.
It didn't happen on their watch, oh my god. Dude, furries in school are the most, like, innocent thing, dog. The worst they're gonna do is wear ears, wear a tail, and bark at people. It's weird, but, like, you do you. They're not hurting anybody. There's no goddamn way that those people were able to keep a straight face through all of that. I would be losing my shit, dog, if someone came in and was like, the kids are shitting in litter boxes in the gender-neutral restrooms, and this is part of the agenda. Wow, you mean the right-wing news sources and right-wing in general scooped this up and decided to believe it with no evidence whatsoever because someone said it, because they never fact-checked, because they believe whatever fits their narrative? Who would have thought? Who would have guessed? I wouldn't have guessed. This doesn't happen ever. This isn't a reoccurring thing. This isn't sarcasm I'm using right now. I'm not pissed off. Wow, so the superintendent came out and said it was false. Who would have guessed? The adults who told us to be careful handing out our info on Club Penguin are now the same people who are believing crazy claims like this. I just don't get it. So yeah, that was that show of a video. I just can't believe that someone genuinely went up to a school board meeting and believed all of those things. I don't think she believed those things. Let me bring up the gender-neutral restrooms, okay? She made sure to specifically say that they were in the gender-neutral restrooms because for some reason, right-wing people just have an issue with gender-neutral restrooms. They are the devil. They are the worst thing imaginable. It kind of feels like the litter box thing was just a covert cover-up so that she could talk about the gender-neutral restrooms and make them look worse than they already are. Why didn't she just say they were in the restrooms? She could have just left it at that. But no, it has to be specifically the gender-neutral restrooms. Some people don't feel comfortable going in a gendered restroom, you know? She used a crazy story to cover up the fact that it's not that big of a deal, people using a gender-neutral restroom being comfortable with where they go. So she decided to make it a huge story and just this ridiculous claim. How could they? How could they let this happen in the gender-neutral restroom of all places? I know, maybe we should just get rid of the restroom as a whole. Like, there's no way she genuinely believes that this is happening. This has to be like a covert way to bring up gender-neutral restrooms. And if she genuinely does believe this, she is the dumbest person on earth. How can you believe that something like this is going on? Can you imagine the sanitation issues? Let alone privacy problems, dog. Also, just the misconception with furries and therians, that's just always gonna happen. You're just gonna have to correct people and they're not gonna believe you, and then they're gonna go on rants about how smart they are, but I digress. Also, not really furry related, but it's just ridiculous how quick the right-wing people are willing to just take any info they get and run with it. This is how we end up with so much vaccine misinformation. This is how we end up with so much anti-mask rhetoric. And this is how we end up with bozos like this, going in front of a school board making a fool out of themselves because they decided to believe one person's story, who honestly was probably screwing with them, or somehow there was a miscommunication, because there's no way that people there's just no way people genuinely believe this, man. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick because I don't know. I just wanted to make a video about it. It seemed like a fun topic and I didn't want to pass it up. Be sure to check out Lab's video. It's much more structured than this one. I kind of went a little loosey-goosey with it. I don't have a script, which means I like to ramble so that I don't stutter. But yeah, I guess we're at the end of the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!